everyone, it's Jake at Jake's Metal Chat. Hope you're all well and welcome as it is the last day of this month. It is my January collection update. I only have CDs to show you for this one. No vinyl cassettes as of yet. But for the next ones, there'll be a mixture of all three formats. I got a lot more new albums from this year to buy. A lot more from last year, 2022, and so on, and classics, of course, for my Metal Vault series from the 80s and 90s. Those 2 decades of metal, and my favorite death metal albums for any death metal album that I pick up that's come out this year or 2, 3, 4, 5, like 10 years ago, and so on. Anyway, let's crack on with it. So I'm going to let you get on with your day, evening, wherever you're in the world. Here was the first band. I saw them at the Exchange on the 18th of this month. They formed in 2019. I looked them up when I was looking them up on Facebook. Not sure whereabouts in the UK they're properly based. I know the drummer because he lives here in Bristol. His wife was in my band Avintel. She did the vocals for our EP. And of course, I will name the band that my mate, who's the drummer in this band, was in. This is Albion and their debut that came out on the 27th of this month of this year, 2024. Albion's Lake Sons of Elbid. And Albion mix rock and metal, folk rock and metal. Is progressive folk rock metal, and it's blended so damn well. This entire album, and I'm not just saying this because I know Ollie, who's the drummer in this band, but it is an excellent album. Guitar work, from the guitars to the bass, the drums, the vocals, just outstanding. Here's the CD and who's in the band, and a booklet. When you open it, it does this. Because you had the lyrics on that side there. Now you got lyrics here. And of course, fold it back up. I like this side here because you've got the harp and a sword. And there, a ring and a bird, which I believe is a crane. If you're into the two bands that I can say I get the most influence from this album, Elvati and Interferum, especially songs like Wanderer and Inismona, and maybe the Core of the Mountain. That vibe I'm getting. You're gonna like this album. It mixes, like I said, it mixes folk metal and folk rock together. I know some people are a bit iffy on folk metal, but I do urge you to check this out and check out the other two bands that I mentioned. I have so many other folk metal bands to mention as well, but definitely check out this band here. Check out this album. I got this when they played the Exchange on the 18th of this month of January, and yeah, they're great live. I played with them up in Yorkshire at Warhorns. They were the 5th band on, and of course we were 3rd on. Like I said, got this at the gig, and awesome album. They do have it on vinyl, I believe. Obviously, all the bands will be in the description below where you can follow them, where you can buy the stuff. So for all you vinyl enthusiasts, there is a vinyl. And of course, CD enthusiasts, they are there. So what I can do is I can double check if they got a vinyl. Very sure they do. And let's see. Yes, they do have a vinyl. Just have to double check and see. Yep. It's a double vinyl. So for you vinyl enthusiasts, never fear, there is a vinyl there. But please show these guys your support. Albion and Lake Sons of Elbid. Excellent, excellent stuff. These three bands I've already shown because one is here from Bristol. Of course, I'm talking about Cryptworm, formed in 2014 and just been playing nasty, disgusting, horrible, filthy death metal. Already got 2 albums out. Of course, their debut, Seeping Mephitic Putridity. And here's their 2023 album, Oozing Radioactive Vomation. Just the overall feel and overall just gut-wrenching vocals, crunching guitars, excellent drumming. There's the CD. There's the band themselves called Joss and Jay. There are in separation, and Tabor, of course, has another band that I'll have the chat down there. Sorry, the camera won't blur because I had this right up the camera. Chat will be down there. He has another band called Rotterdam, and he used to be in a band called Grave Crusher. And if you love your Death Doom, you'll definitely love Rotterdam. And but I'm getting some Death Doom vibes on here with bands like not Hyperdontia, Anatomia and Seep, but that more nasty, cavernous sounding, that sound like Undergain and Hyperdontia, that more cavernous sounding death metal. And again, with the Death Doom stuff with Anatomia and Seep, who I've been listening to a lot lately. Definitely got a lot of those vibes. So any fans of the more cavernous, pure filthiness of death metal, definitely one for you. Cryptworm and Oozing Radioactive Vomation. Quality stuff. And be sure to check out their debut, Seeping Mephitic Putridity, and also their EP, Reeking Gunk of Abhorrence. Now, this band I have shown as well, of course, like I said earlier. I showed the new album in my, not the last one, but the one before that, of my favorite death metal albums. Same with this one, hence why I'm going a bit quicker with these ones, because you would have seen them in that one. Of course, Celestial Sanctuary from Cambridge, formed in 2019. I have not only their new album, but their debut from 2021. And let's get that up for you. This is Soul Diminished. And of course, Insatiable Thirst for Torment. So the new one, the debut. But let's show the CD and the booklet for this one here. As I've shown the artwork in the last one for the new album, and of course for Cryptworm. And how I knew about them was because I saw this artwork and I thought, well, let's check these guys out, and I was instantly hooked. Very old school sounding death metal for the 21st century, of course. And the vibes that I got from the one band specifically that I think they get a lot of influence from is Incantation. Definitely like Onwards to Golgotha and maybe the later albums as well. But definitely the first one. Some lyrics there. Very nasty, swampy looking one there. Like very, very like in the marsh. Oh, just had to book the wrong way. Very, like I said, quite old school sounding. Other bands that I can think of, obviously, Incantation that I've mentioned. Sort of Boltfur, a little bit of Boltfur in there. Obituary, Entomb, Grave, various bands like that. It's like mixture of American death metal, British death metal, or Swedish death metal. They all just got merged into one. You'll get this band right here. I know a lot of people would have heard this already, being the new album, but if you haven't heard this one yet, do check it out. If you are into those bands, or massive death metal nut, just like myself. Celestial Sanctuary with Soul Diminished and Insatiable Thirst for Torment. Now, the last one, the band that they were on tour with, like I said, already shown this one, get through it quick. Fuming Mouth from Milford, Massachusetts in the USA, formed in 2013. This is their new album from last year, Last Day of Sun, and the vibe that I got from this, like I said in that episode of my favorite death metal albums, nails, big nails, influence, and maybe a bit of Four of Hell, bands like that. So especially those two. And solid stuff. The class is crust. Death metal crust. So very crusty, nasty, in-your-face death metal. Taking the book out because I like how the artwork does this. So I'm slouching a bit in my chair. And just, man, in your face, aggressive. And with the last three albums I just showed there, and I was meant to say this, and I'm going to say it along with these guys, all talented, excellent work on everything with the guitars, bass, drums, vocals. Of course, the longest song on this one is number one, Out of Time, which is just, okay, you would think with a band like this, songs would be like 2 to 4 minutes long, maybe. And I think that's the only one that's the longest one. Well, the second longest is the last track on this one. But yeah, of course, the longest one is Out of Time, being 6 minutes and 36 seconds. And this album altogether is 45 minutes, 51 seconds. They got one album out before this, which is how I found out about them, called The Grand Descent, which is how I found out about them and getting that vibe. Because when I first heard them, obviously the first thing I noticed was nails. And then thinking like, oh, Four of Hell. A little bit of Gate Creeper mixed in there as well. Bands that are more, just death metal on their own, or death metal, that mix of hardcore. If you're into that stuff, you're going to like Fuming Mouth. And you ever get a chance to see them live, or you saw them on that tour they did recently, you know how good they are. Fuming Mouth, Last Day of Sun. Now, I got 5 CDs left to show you. 3 of them are from the same band. This one is from Cardiff, Wales, formed in 2021. One of the guys is from the band Black Fire. The vocalist, who I've had on here, of course, along with Tabor's chat, his chat will be on here in the description down below as well, just in case you haven't watched it. Really atmospheric black metal, and the bands that I'm going to mention, that's the overall influence and vibe I got from this album. And this is Ofnus and their debut, Time Held Me Grey and Dying. Atmospheric black metal, just, I love that more atmospheric side to black metal, but I also like the really aggressive stuff. One of my favorites being Dark Funeral. Also, another one being Watain. These guys have been going for, I'm not sure what month from 2021 they formed in, but overall 3 years. They had 2 singles out from the same year, Grains of Sand and Fading Dreams, which are both on this album. So you got a little taster of what the album is going to sound like. And yeah, Grains of Sand is a song that I like. I was thinking as well as number one being a favorite of mine. Burned by the Soul of the Sun. I like the hourglass there. because I'm going to get the CD out as well. Of course, I heard this before I picked up the CD because I saw him in Cardiff play with the next band I'll show you. That's a really cool CD there. Logo there with some mountains reminding me of what I saw in Iceland. Beautiful landscape. Of course, the book with the artwork there. And lyrics there and the band. So there's Will. And Alan is also in another band called Agrona. Both bands based in Cardiff. So Ofnus, Agrona, and also Black Pyre. All based in Wales. I think Black Pyre is based in Cardiff or based in another... No, also Cardiff. And I also believe as well Agrona. Yep. All right. I was waiting saying all from Cardiff. Now the bands, if you're really into your more atmospheric side of black metal, the two albums I think I get more vibe on now just thinking about it. In the Night Side Eclipse by Emperor and the Shadow Throne by Satyricon. So if you're into those two albums, you're more into that still heavy but atmospheric sides of black metal. Definitely check out this album. Do go see him live if you get a chance. I saw him at Bloodstock the first time. Really enjoyed the set. I thought if they're playing again, I'll go see him again before the end of last year, which I did in their hometown. So once again, you like your atmospheric black metal, definitely the band for you. You know, if you're more into your black metal, then you're gonna love this. Ofnus, Time Held Me Grey and Dying. Quality atmospheric black metal. And yes, I did cut my thumb earlier when I was chopping up peppers to put on a pizza. So, bit of an idiot here. But there you go. Right, last 4 CDs, 3 from the same band, and then 1 more. And I'll let you get on your way. This one is from Belgium. I could not pronounce the names of the places they were from. These guys formed in 2000. They've been a band for 24 years now. Not sure the month, but of course, it is this year of 2024, so 24 years. I have 3 of their albums that I bought at the show in Cardiff, is where I saw Ofnus again. And that's where the band is based now. The vocalist is originally from Greece, then moved to Belgium sometime, formed this band, but had other bands before that. And then ended one band to focus on this one. This is Pantheïst. And I have 3 of their albums. So here's their debut, Oh Solitude. Very funeral doom metal, more the funeral doom ones being the very first one, but got that progressive element in there. Their 2005 release, Amartia, which is still very funeral doom, but I'll get in a bit more on that progressive side. And their 2008 album, Journey Through Lands Unknown. And again, on that progressive side of doom metal. Excuse me. Let's start with this one, the debut. It's very dark, very somber, but again, heavy. Same with the other 2. Like I said, more on the funeral doom side than the more progressive doom side, but they do have those elements in there on, I think, all of their stuff. When I saw them live, because originally me and my mate were gonna stay over, and because I think one of the band members was gonna put us up, and then someone was coming back to Bristol, so it made it a lot easier for me to just come back to Bristol so I can, just chill out in my own space. But very nice of them to do that, regardless. Favorite songs on here. So I'm gonna get them up on here. So this came out on the 10th of April of 2003. The artwork I'm looking at is a lot different from the one that I got here. Of course, I love the title track on the album, Oh Solitude. And Time is also a really, really good track as well. Costas is the vocalist slash keyboardist. And man, what an incredible frontman live, because he's got different live members for the shows, because I don't think any of the ones on this album are in the band anymore. No, one of them, the last one, is Nicholas, who was the guitarist on this one. The last one he was on was the next one I'll be showing you, Amartya. Friedrich. I think I might have said that totally wrong. Last one, this was actually this was the only one he did, because I was trying to think, did he do anything else? But then I was just looking at the other bands he was in. And the drummer, this was the only one they did. Oscar, this was the only one that he did as well. So the members have changed over the years. So there's the CD, bit of the artwork there. You know, bit of the bench. Really, really nice artwork. It just reminds me like a really early cold winter's day morning, which is what, like, this sort of music, along with black metal, the atmosphere of black metal and death doom, definitely was perfect for that time of the year. Artwork there. I don't think there's a band picture as such. There's a little bit here. There's Costas right there. So that's his setup live. One of the guitarists, the original guitarist that was not on any of the other albums. Or actually, I think the last one was the next one I'll be showing you. I think there's some artwork under here. Just a little bit there. You love your Funeral Doom. This is obviously being their debut, more on that Funeral Doom metal side. So think of bands like Skepticism and of course that's one of the biggest ones, Skepticism. Shape of Despair, which it came out 2 years before they did. Evoking, Esoteric, of course. You know, on that funeral side of doom metal, of course, we've seen Esoteric in June this year in London. You know which kick I'm on about. Well, we've all seen it. If you're like, what? And Skepticism being at the same one. You'll enjoy. I think you'll enjoy this one a lot more. It's got some regressive elements, especially on the title track, but overall, every song unique, unique, and just very heavy, somber, and dark and melodic. Now on to Amartya, and looking at this artwork and then going on here, it's the same artwork. It's just the artwork on this one. I think of Oh Solitude is a re-release. Just again still very Funeral Doom, but it's getting more into the progressive doom metal side, but mixes them very, very well. This came out on the 2nd of March 2005. And the song that one of my favorites on this album would have to be Lost, because all the songs are to do with the 7 deadly sins. So gluttony, envy, lust, Pride, Greed, Sloth, and Wrath. All just dark and heavy. But when I listen to this, I just get more, you know, obviously sometimes I'll listen to this on the walk, but then I'm walking a bit too fast to what I'm listening to, but then I'll just stop and just be like, just, lose myself with the music in that location. And definitely this is music. This is music for nature. It's like, especially when you're going on walks, perfect for that. Like I said, with it, it's progressive doom, but still very much got that strong funeral doom metal element right there. Obviously, being funeral doom and progressive doom as well. Of course, let's get a CD right there and there. I think this is the label I'm on now. Turning grief to music. That's what the initials are there. Because there is a website. Because they all came with the same little leaflet there, which I'll put them all back in here. And there we go. Trying to get the CD out and take off the case. Got the book, sorry. Some artwork there. More artwork there. And just get some with just the lyrics on. And there we are. I mean, everyone's gonna like maybe just one side of like certain genres. So certain people just like old school death metal, which I preferably like the most, but I also like doom, doom death, that more cavernous side to like, being Cryptworm and Undergang. A little bit awkward there. But when it comes to doom, when I want something more slow, melodic, and dark, I'll definitely go with Funeral Doom. But I want to, and then, but if I maybe there's a band that mixes progressive doom as well, definitely this band here. Very, like I said, it's a very, and I don't think I've said this one. A very somber album. Same with their debut, and of course the next one that I'll be showing you right now. Definitely get this one as well. And of course, this one, Journey Through Lands Unknown, which is from 2008. And the same again, funeral doom metal, but also with that progressive side as well. The melodic, somber, dark sound to it. Quite evil as well. And so a bit of the band there. I believe. Let's check out the. Okay, so some of the same members on this one, but let's look at the next one. Favorite tracks from this one would have to probably be Eternal Sorrow and Unknown Land. Called some of the same members from the last one. And I believe some live stuff there. Like some live band photos and whatnot. I think there's some more lyrics. I just saw it. There we go. Yep. Now, again, not everyone is gonna like Funeral Doom or doom metal in general, because things like, oh, it's just too slow. Like, especially if you like more black metal, death metal, thrash metal, you're not gonna like something like this. But then with the progressive parts on this album and the last two, I don't have their other ones, so I haven't got much of an opinion on them. but I'm guessing they're going to be much the same as these three. It's got that progressive element, so in a way it picks up a little bit. But I'll let you make up your own minds on this band and this albums, because everyone's going to have a different opinion at the end of the day. But for me, overall, all these albums are very heavy, melodic, somber sounding albums, and Pantheïst is just a phenomenal band, and I want to see him again. And I hope to see him again if they end up playing a festival that I end up going to, or they announce a tour and it ends up coming here. Definitely be up for that. So once again, this is Pantheïst with O Solitude, Armatia, and Journey Through Lands Unknown. Check this band out. Now the last one, and I'll let you get on with the rest of your evening, your day, of course, wherever you're in the world. This band formed in 1992 in Gothenburg, Sweden. And when I think of that part of Sweden, I think more the melodic side of metal, melodic death metal, melodic black metal, melodic black death metal. And these guys are in that category. And this is an original pressing that I got from Black City Records. Someone bought this in on like sometime last year, I believe. And no one else bought it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that before anyone else does. And I heard this album a while back, and I saw these guys at UK Death Fest 2 years ago. And want to see them again because they just brought so much energy and intensity. Same with this album here. But again, it's very melodic, but heavy and aggressive. This is Sacramentum, Sacrament, and their debut from 1996, Far Away from the Sun. Yeah, Sacrament. Such a good band. And I knew of them because I recognized his artwork. Hence, same with Celestial Sanctuary. Of course, there was only 3 of them on this album, because I know he's still in the band. Of course, he's rocking a really cool skullet right now, which there's metalheads that can pull off, and there's some that can. But there you go. Such a phenomenal album. Like I said, it is an original pressing from 1996, and I can prove it as such. Well, there's the CD, and the logos, saying Sacrament, and of course the album Far Away from the Sun. Now, I think in the book, if I can remember where I put it, now you can see this right here is a receipt, and the writing is a little bit faded there, but up here, there we go, right there is the date that it was brought on. So that proves it is an original pressing from 1996. Also got some lyrics here and there with some of the artwork, and artwork there. I know it doesn't overlay, but let's just show it again. Yeah, when I looked at the band, I was like, is it pronounced Sacrament or Sacramentium? Because first time I said it was the second name when I said them. No, it's Sacrament. I'm yet to get their other albums, which of course are The Coming of Chaos, The Black Destiny, which is the only 3 albums they've done. They only done 3 albums. So this one from 96, The Coming of Chaos from 97, and Thy Black Destiny from 1999. Definitely got anything else because, like I said, they formed in 1992. They formed under a Nana name in 1990. They split up in 2001. Of course, 92 they changed it to Sacrament, and then they split up in 2001, then reformed in 2019. And just been going strong ever since. It's got a bit of that there. Should have seen it again, but out of the case. So, yeah, that little seat is to show you that it's from 96. It's the original. Got some originals here, but you know, it's cool to have an original copy of an album. But if you don't have this yet and you're into your melodic black death metal, black death metal in general, here's the band for you. You love that Gothenburg sound, definitely, you know, is there. You know, like Early In Flames, Dark Tranquility, At the Gates. You know, all those excellent bands there. Of course, Ken of Ken's Death Metal Crypt loves this album. And of course, as it's a classic, it is going on my Metal Vault. It will be a little bit later on in the series. I have to check my book to see when I put it in. But it's there. So keep an eye on that. Just a phenomenal, just overall guitar work, you know, mention the guitars, the bass, the drums, the vocals, just what you want to hear in the style of metal that this is in. I'll show the back one more time of all the lads there. You know, just, you know, in true black death metal fashion, wearing a whole lot of black, a whole lot of spikes, and a whole lot of bullet belts. You just can't go wrong there. Just can't. So please get this album. That artwork is amazing though. Do check out Sacrament if you have not yet. And if you saw them at UK Death Fest, holy shit, they were amazing. And I want to see these guys again. Same with all the other bands here. You know, just can't get enough. So once again, this is Sacrament and Far Away from the Sun. And that is my collection update. Probably a really long one because I had a lot to talk about. Of course, more collection updates once I have more stuff. Interview chats will be continuing. I got someone booked in, like I probably said in the last one. Like I said, that is in the Metal Vault, but is in a later episode. And I got one that's going to be much longer because I'm talking about three albums from the same band from a certain era. Just want to let you all know that's what's happening. And I hope you enjoyed this collection update and found any new bands that you haven't checked out yet. And to anyone that has subscribed very recently, thank you very much. It means a lot. And you watched this video and you've watched my other videos and haven't yet done it, please, for this one, please like this video, share it around, comment if you have anything to say down below in the comment section. And most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to keep up to date with everything that I do on this channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Jake's Metal Chat, and I'll see you all again in the next one.